Your home for Lakers playoff basketball. 710 ESPN.
45-footer by LeBron is good. This is an absolute annihilation.
Yes.
Lakers talk is on.
This was their first opportunity together in the postseason to show that they have this killer mentality, and they jumped all over the Portland Trailblazers.
The final score, Lakers 135, Portland 115, and it was not as close as the 20 points indicated.
Your city, your station, your Lakers.
It feels good to be a Laker fan tonight. It really does, just to get that type of a blowout win and to take a 3-1 lead.
It's Lakers talk.
Here's Alan Sliwa.
What's going on, Laker fans? Long time no see. Feel like it's been a while. Feels like it's been about 24 hours since we last had a conversation. Appreciate you guys tuning in, Laker fans. Thank you for tuning in. This is Lakers Talk. So it's almost like the post-game show for Lakers Talk. I just did Lakers Talk on 710 ESPN. You know, we go 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on there. And then I come in for the social media edition, you know, because I'm all socialed out. I don't know what that means. Thank you for tuning in. Let me give everybody just a quick idea what we got going on for the show this fine evening as the Lakers sit one game away from getting into the second round. I'll talk about the closing mentality of the Los Angeles Lakers from yesterday. I'll spend some time talking about who you want to face in the second round between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Houston Rockets. I've already moved on to the second round. I'm already ready for round two. Okay. We'll spend some time doing that. And then a guy by the name of Alex Caruso was nice enough to join Lakers Talk on 710 ESPN. So we'll play that entire interview. And then also we'll look back a little bit on yesterday on Mamba Day, and we'll reflect on that as well. So we got a lot of good stuff going on. Going on tonight. And of course, as always, I'll interact with our 710 ESPN fans. I'll interact with all our social media platforms. So feel free to send messages in. If I like your message, I'll read it. If I don't, then I'm just not going to read it. I don't know what you guys want me to do. All right, let's get started here. So, first thing I want to say is this. By the way, let me start off by saying this. Very disappointed, and I feel like I jinxed Mavs Nation out there. I said yesterday in the postgame show. I said that if the Mavs somehow found a way to take a 3-2 lead against the Clippers, I was ready. I was ready to do a post-game show tonight for the Dallas Mavericks. I was all in. I was ready to go Mavs Nation, but that didn't happen. Clippers kind of took care of business tonight, so it is what it is. Let's focus on the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay, so real quick, I want to go back to yesterday. I thought one of two things were going to play out yesterday for the Los Angeles Lakers, all right? The first potential scenario that was going to play out for the Lakers was they weren't going to play the, Los Angeles Lakers basketball that we were accustomed to. They were going to continue to kind of struggle in the Orlando bubble. They were going to give hope to a Portland Trailblazers team that the idea and the concept was, you were hoping that the idea was, no, we're not going to give you a second chance. We're not going to let you think that tying up the series 2-2 this was going to be a real series. It can go 7 games. All the people that were talking about the Blazers the last couple of weeks, all that stuff was coming to fruition. That could have played out yesterday, or what could have played out yesterday for the Lakers was they would start the game up 15-0. They would eventually have a 15-point lead at the end of the first quarter, and they'd have a halftime lead of 29 points, and the Lakers would completely blow out the Portland Trailblazers. Well, that scenario played out yesterday, and I thought that the fact that the Los Angeles Lakers definitely had this killer instinct yesterday, that's a great sign. It really is. That's an incredible sign for the Lakers because, look, this Lakers team, it's not like we have all these examples of this team playing together. Back in the Shaq and Kobe days, we knew, postseason came along and they just woke up and they decided, yep, we play differently come postseason, or we feel like a team is down. We're going to make sure they stay down. We're going to wrap up this series. With the Lakers, you don't know that yet with this team, because it's the first run for head coach Frank Vogel with the Lakers. It's LeBron's first playoff appearance with the Los Angeles Lakers. It's AD and LeBron's first playoff, series together. We got confidence that the Lakers are going to make it happen, but sometimes you got to see it first. And for the Los Angeles Lakers yesterday, as you see on this on the title there, the Lakers closeout mentality, they freaking closed out. I mean, what more can you ask for from a Lakers team? It was as good of a win as we've seen since March, right? I mean, just the way they played. Offensively, they were clicking. Defensively, they were all over the place. Part of my conversation, which I'm going to play in a little bit with Alex Caruso from earlier today, I loved it because one of the things that he said, he thought playing Portland in the first round was actually beneficial. He thought it would be advantageous. And I wanted to interrupt Alex Caruso and say, Alex, I've been saying that for the last 2 weeks. But I did not, because I'm a professional. And professionals don't do that. But I did really enjoy that moment where Alex Caruso was talking about how this was a great challenge for the Lakers in the first round. And, I know Lakers lost game 1, but let's be real here. You're up 3-1 against the Portland Trailblazers. No Damian Lillard in game 5 because of a right knee sprain. Series is over tomorrow. I don't know what more you guys want me to tell you, but 24 hours from now, I'm going to be doing the post-game show, which will be post-game show number 1. And then I'll be doing the post-game show after the post-game show for YouTube and social and everything else. And we're going to be talking about how the Lakers took care of business in round 1. We're not going to be overly impressed. We're not going to be outside parading that we just won a first-round series. We're going to be talking about how that was all business, that was expectations for the Lakers, and then we'll start moving on to round 2. So I want to start off the show highlighting that because that was impressive to me yesterday. I did think that what the Lakers accomplished yesterday, how they jumped out all over the Portland Trailblazers, how they dominated in that game in the first quarter and at halftime and pretty much had the game over by then, that was a great showing for the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's put it that way. I don't know if you guys were listening to the broadcast yesterday, but Michael Thompson was trying to put the game in the refrigerator in the first quarter, and Ireland's like, stop, do not do that, do not jinx the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay, let me read a couple of these comments here, because that's what I do on these social shows. I interact with the audience here. Let me read some of these comments here real quick. Aniket Mohan says, it's something with those Mamba jerseys. Let me tell you something. Those Mamba jerseys, how beautiful are those jerseys? And there's such a feel to that jersey that just, it's deep. I know for Laker fans it's deep, but those are beautiful jerseys. They really are. And if they end up playing, I think I had read something that after the first round, they'll wear those jerseys moving forward. Whether they do or they don't, I'm not sure, but those jerseys were beautiful. By the way, if you guys want me to play something here, LeBron James, give me a second here, people. Give me a second. LeBron James on honoring Kobe Bryant yesterday on Mamba Day. 1 second, people. 1 second.
It's been an honor to just put on the Laker uniform, even before the passing of the great Kobe Bryant. And tonight was another one of those moments for myself, for this organization, for all the players that was able to wear those uniforms, that was inspired by him and his mind and his creativity. And one day removed from his birthday, and then his day of 8/24, to be able to have a game on this day, the stars aligned. I did notice that we were up 24-8, because I'm always trying to figure out what's going on throughout the course of the game. I'm always looking if we're up, if we're down, what's the team fouls and all of that nature. And when I looked up there and seen 24-8, I was like, okay, he's here in the building. So, it's a beautiful, beautiful night for our franchise, and something that we probably will always remember.
Throughout the show, I'll be talking about Kobe Bryant and the last couple of days. So just a reminder, I'll continue to do that. Gory Sanders says, no Dame, they should rest AD. Anthony Davis yesterday, by the way, in the post-game show with Mike Trudell on Spectrum Sportsnet said he's 100% going to play. And Coach also said that today. So Coach emphasized that he's going to be playing tomorrow. All right, let me read some of these comments here. This is actually a good topic. So let me just kind of wrap up Lakers and the Blazers. Game 3 or Game 4, that one's done. We're done with the fact that the Lakers, like I mentioned, yesterday they had a killer instinct. No Damian Lillard tomorrow. They got to take care of business, and we'll leave it at that, okay? I look forward to tomorrow when we're talking about round 2, and we'll start previewing that in a little bit as well. Okay, do you guys see this? Giannis Antetokounmpo wins Defensive Player of the Year, and just dominates it. It wasn't even close. Let me read off what some of the voting was for Giannis Antetokounmpo. 75 first-place votes from a panel of 100 sports writers and broadcasters, and earning 430 points, 32 points total. I copied and pasted that off ESPN, so I don't even know what some of that means. So I don't want to pretend like I do. So Giannis Antetokounmpo wins Defensive Player of the Year. If he wins MVP, if he ends up as most valuable player, he would only be the 3rd player to win both awards. Can you guys name the other 2 players that have won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year? I'll let you guys comment in. Please, let me know. Let me test your guys' basketball knowledge. Comment on this one. So Giannis Antetokounmpo wins Defensive Player of the Year. He's got a chance to win MVP, which I think most people think he's going to do. Only 2 other players have done that in the same year. We'll see if you guys know your history. But let me say this. All right, Chan says Jordan and Kareem. Chan, you got half of it right. James says Hakeem Olajuwon and Michael Jordan. That is correct. So Giannis Antetokounmpo would put himself in that freaking class. He put himself in the class of Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon. So that's incredible right there. Ian says Hakeem the Dream. Yep. Victory George says Jordan and Olajuwon. Okay, I got it, guys. All right. Some of you guys got this. Let me say this. I hope this bothers Anthony Davis. I really do. It bothered me as a Laker fan, and I'm sure it bothered a lot of Laker fans out there. It bothered me as a Laker fan that Giannis Antetokounmpo won the Defensive Player of the Year award because, I've got a chance all season long as all Laker fans. We all got the opportunity to watch what Anthony Davis has done for the Los Angeles Lakers. So keeping that in mind right there, AD averaged 1.5 steals per game. He averaged 2.3 blocks per game. Anthony Davis, we all know, was the foundation of the Los Angeles Lakers defense this season. So with all that being said, of course it's disappointing that Anthony Davis did not win that award. But I'll tell you this. I hope it bothers AD, and I hope it bothers the Los Angeles Lakers team. And eventually, Mello on here is commenting. It just says Mello. I don't know if Carmelo Anthony is a part of the show, but if he is, you got to prepare for Game 5, bro. Don't spend your time on here. AD wanted that award. That was one of his goals that he set this year. So my hope is this. My hope is if Giannis ends up winning the MVP as well, most valuable player, that means Giannis will have 2 individual awards, and the Lakers would have 2 players that ended up in second place. LeBron James for MVP and Anthony Davis for Defensive Player of the Year. Honestly, I hope that sets a fire under them, that, they have that mentality of saying, cool, go win those individual awards. We only care about one award at the end of the year, and that's winning an NBA championship and having that trophy, and whoever wins finals MVP on the Los Angeles Lakers, great, all good. But I hope that bothers LeBron and Anthony Davis, because you have to kind of think that those type of awards, I know they're individual awards, but when you set that as one of your goals and you get so close and you don't get it, I'm sure that that bothers some of these stars for the Lakers. And I'm talking about AD, and I'm talking about LeBron James. Okay, I got a very, very important question Somebody's saying here, Slim Weeper. These names on YouTube, I don't know what's going on. Still don't know what's going on. Says it should have been much closer, as in the voting should have been much closer. You're probably right. I mean, it's tough for me because I'm not watching Giannis every night. Obviously, I'm watching AD every night, so I'm paying more attention to just Anthony Davis. And the fact that he did not win the award is, that's disappointing because I just know how impactful he was for the Lakers. That's a very creative comment there on Rudy Gobert. I won't read it, but very creative comment. Okay, so let me kind of switch gears here for a quick second. So this is what I want to do real quick. By the way, let's do roll call. So for those who don't know roll call, it's very simple. Wherever you're tuning in from, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on Periscope, whether you're on Twitter, you're on MySpace, you're on Napster, all of them, everybody. Anyways, whatever social media account that you're on, roll call basically means this. Tell me where you're tuning from. I'll give you a shout out as we continue to do the show. So a lot of people already know how this works. So Vegas, thank you for tuning in. Australia, Philippines. Just listen to where Laker fans are all across the world, okay? Australia, Philippines, Inglewood. Thank you for tuning in. Singapore, New Orleans, thank you for tuning in. San Marcos, New Zealand, Los Angeles. Somebody claims he's at King Taco. We always get this. I got comedians on here. The Bronx, thank you for being a part of the show. Sacramento, Roseville, California, the Philippines, Singapore, Palm Desert, El Sereno. They're saying they're in their mom's basement. Sounds good. Wherever you are, thank you for being a part of Lakers Talk. We got some people, by the way, all the way out Costa Rica, Tampa. Appreciate the invite, guys. India, thank you for being a part of the show. New Zealand, thank you for being a part of the show. Hong Kong. Okay, slow down, everybody. Slow down for a quick second. I'll get back to some of these. I put out a poll. Put out a poll on Twitter. And this is the question I threw out on there. About 1,000 votes on there. Who would you rather face in the second round? Would you rather face the Oklahoma City Thunder, or would you rather face the Houston Rockets? So let me give everybody a quick little update. So first of all, let me say this. Tell me which team you'd rather face and why. All right, give me some context to it. I'm going to get people that just say Rockets, and then they're going to say, why didn't you read my comment? Because you didn't put anything else. Give me some reasons why. Rockets or Thunder? 76% of the vote right now has the Oklahoma City Thunder. So 76% of Laker fans right now would rather face the Thunder than the Houston Rockets. Some might ask, Al, what are you doing? Why are you already on the second round? Don't we still have another game tomorrow? Tomorrow's game 5. What I would tell those who are tuning in right now, I would tell you that the series is over. Lakers are handling business tomorrow. They're going to take care of game 5. They understand how important it's going to be to get some rest, to get ready for the second round. No Damian Lillard for the Portland Trailblazers. I'm already turning the page. I've moved on. I don't know about you guys. I'm already in second round mode. All right? That's where I'm at. So keep up. No, but Rockets Thunder for which team would you rather face in the second round? 76% got the Oklahoma City Thunder. So let me give some reasoning here on who I would rather face in the second round. Okay? Damn, I got to go through all these comments. Melbourne, Australia, thank you for tuning in. Minneapolis, appreciate you being a part of the show. Lake Elsinore, Inglewood, we already got you. Murrieta, okay. So now let me start. Somebody said he's in Magic City and he's having some great wings. Congratulations. Get your wings, man. Do what you got to do. Okay, so let me kind of just claim here. By the way, have you guys seen the sweater? Have I shown the sweater before? Got these sweaters. Look at the sweater. This sweater. Well, action right here, the 2. Action right here, the 24. How awesome are these sweaters? Beautiful sweaters. Beautiful sweaters. We gave away one yesterday on the post-game show. You guys should have been listening. Okay, so I'm going to give my quick comments here on I can't keep up with the messages. They're rolling in like crazy here. Just give me a second. So I find myself rooting for the Oklahoma City Thunder. no question about it, I find myself rooting for the Thunder. And when Rockets took a 2-0 lead, I hated it. And in my head, I'm like, all right, well, Houston's going to be done with the series in no time here. And then by the time the Lakers are done with Portland, which everybody kept saying, oh, this is going to be a tough series. Everybody was promoting the Portland Trailblazers. I remember last week when I said I think we're overhyping the Portland Trailblazers. Relax. It's the Lakers. We're going to be fine. Portland was one bucket away from getting eliminated in those seeding games and not even making the playoffs. But at one point when the Lakers were down 1-0 and the Rockets, took a 2-0 lead, you kind of start thinking in your head, all right, well, Houston's going to be a challenge. Russell Westbrook's going to get healthy. I don't think he's going in Game 5. I'll explain why I would rather face the Oklahoma City Thunder than the Houston Rockets. Do you know when you just know what you're going to get? I feel like I know exactly what I'm going to get with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I know, Chris Paul. I know Danilo Gallinari, his game. I know Steven Adams is going to be in the game. They want to kind of play a little big. You know what you're going to get with the Thunder. And that's not to say that they're not dangerous. That's not to say that they don't have a good team. But Houston is this mysterious unknown that what if they do get hot and start hitting, a ridiculous percentage from the three-point line? What if they do start clicking for one series and they present problems to the Lakers? Now, I will tell you, Lakers are going to get past either team, the Thunder or the Rockets. They are. There's just too much talent. And the Lakers actually play defense where the Houston Rockets don't care about defense. Lakers will eventually win. But the Rockets present enough question marks that you're like, all right, if we can avoid them, let's avoid them. If we can avoid them, then why not? But at the same time, if we do end up playing the Houston Rockets, I do feel like the Lakers are going to eventually get through them. But James Harden, Russell Westbrook, two incredible individual talented players, where the Oklahoma City Thunder have Chris Paul and then a lot of other pieces, which are nice pieces, but they're obviously, you could play defense against them. All right, let me Brittany Murphy on YouTube, Oklahoma City, because they are inconsistent offensively. Michael Thompson always talks about in the pregame show. Jake Nick Kinnett, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Rockets because they live and die by the three, not sustainable to shoot well for 7 games. By the way, we've seen that year after year with the Houston Rockets. Rockets will get gas and not even make the second round, says Mad Deuce on YouTube. All right, let me read some more of these off. OKC because Harden can put our players in foul trouble. That comes from Brandon Ioki. Okay, so I'm going to catch up on some of these comments because I'm well behind. San Francisco, thank you for being a part of the show. Lemon Pepper Baby, and people are still talking about wings. I don't blame them. So we got a lot of people out here that actually sounds like a lot of people feeling like there's a lot of people that want to see them play against the Rockets. The harder the opponent you beat, the greater the confidence you get. Rockets, we need to grow in confidence the most. That comes from True Colors on YouTube. Okay. So Houston can't hold AD. All right, we got a lot of people that are actually leaning more towards the Houston Rockets, which is a little bit of surprise there. I say we go with the cheers. A little water here. Getting a little water in. We got kind of a combination of people here. Okay, so this is what I want to do real quick because we've already gone 20 minutes here. I got to get to Alex Caruso. So this is what I want to do real quick. Alex Caruso was nice enough to join the show, came on Lakers Talk, and I want to play that entire interview with AC, conversations that we had, talking about the challenge in round 1, talk about the challenge of having to guard Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. He spent time telling us how he's looking forward to getting to the second round. He's not going to disappoint Laker fans. I mean, talk about somebody that's incredibly, incredibly easy to cheer for. I want to talk about Alex Caruso. So We are going to play the full interview right now. And then after Alex Caruso, we'll spend a little bit of time talking about the game tomorrow. Then we'll talk about Kobe Bryant and Kobe Day from yesterday as well. So all that's coming up next. Coming up right now, Alex Caruso.
Alex, thank you very much for making some time and being a part of the show. How are you doing?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I'm good. Just another day of recovery, getting ready for the next game.
Well, listen, congratulations. I mean, I want to say, and I'll get your thoughts on this, but yesterday kind of felt like one of those games. Lakers now up 3-1. And this is just my assumption. You tell me, did yesterday feel a little bit as if we were back in March? Here was a Lakers team that was rolling defensively, offensively, kind of clicking on all cylinders. Did you feel that way at all, or is this just such a completely different time of the year that you're really not looking back?
You could say that. There's some comparisons, obviously, to how we were playing. Obviously, we got a couple different pieces, but the team camaraderie and the chemistry is still the same, and I think we're starting to get that back on the court, like you said. Just playing unselfish, playing for the open man, and then obviously Bron and AD are going to do what they do, but then the guys on the supporting cast are stepping up and obviously playing great defense. Bigs are protecting the rim, finishing around the basket, and then shooters are making shots. It's a really good feeling when we're playing like that.
Alex, how do you make sure, I guess, you keep your foot on the gas pedal? And really all I'm referring to there is I thought yesterday was such a critical game because it becomes obviously a tie. The series either tied 2-2 or you guys take I don't want to say commanding 3-1 lead, but of course you have complete control. How do you walk into tomorrow night's game and make sure that there isn't a let-up, that you're not taking your foot off the gas pedal? What's kind of the mentality there? What are some of those conversations between, the team on that front?
I think for us, it's just that we got bigger goals in mind than finishing a first-round series. Us from the beginning of the year, we've talked about winning championships, and you can't win a championship if you don't finish the first-round series. So I think if last night was any indication on taking our foot off the gas, I think it shows that we're pretty locked in and we have a mission in mind, and that every time we're out there might be slip-ups here and there, but we're fully focused on getting it done.
No, listen, I getting a chance yesterday to do the pregame, postgame show for 710 ESPN. That was kind of the conversation in the pregame show is, well, we're going to find out a lot if this Lakers team can take advantage of the real first opportunity in the postseason to say, no, we're going to take control of the series. Obviously, you guys did that yesterday, and another opportunity tomorrow. I want to go back to something, and you just mentioned, obviously, the goal here is championship aspirations. Kuzma said this about a week ago or so, and he talked about how Rondo and LeBron James have done. These are two vets in the game, obviously. Have championship pedigree, have won championships, been to the finals. You can continue to talk about their resume, but how they emphasized that these opportunities don't come often. Take advantage of that opportunity. Can you talk a little bit about that? What do vets on this team tell a player like yourself that has his first opportunity on a playoff run? How unique of an opportunity this is?
Yeah, it is just that. I talked about that a little bit before the restart when people were asking me during quarantine about, do you want to play? Do you want to get back to finishing the season in the playoffs? And for me, it was always yes, because I've, like you said, with such veteran-led team and guys that have been there and done it, and not everybody can be LeBron James and go to 8 straight finals and have that luxury. So for guys like me to be able to have this opportunity, it's maybe once in a lifetime, maybe once in a career. You never know what the future holds. So just being present, I think, and just taking advantage of the opportunities is the biggest thing. And then when you got guys like Rondo and Bron and even guys like AD who have played big playoff games and had big playoff performances, you know what they're gonna bring. So you just kind of lock in and focus on your role and make sure that whatever it is you got to do that game, you take advantage of the opportunity and you get it done.
Alex Caruso taking some time to join Lakers Talk. Lakers up 3-1 on the Portland Trailblazers. A chance tomorrow to close up the series. Alex, earlier today, it was reported that Portland's Damian Lillard diagnosed with a right knee sprain. He's going to miss Game 5 tomorrow. What is I want to ask you just kind of that challenge, and this is specifically for the backcourt of the Lakers, yourself, KCP, Danny Green. What's it been like going up against such elite guards and CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard on a night-in, night-out basis? What's that been like for you, that challenge, and how do you look at tomorrow's game knowing that Damian Lillard won't be there?
Yeah, unfortunate. Hopefully nothing for him is serious or long-term. You never like to see guys get hurt, regardless of the situation. Obviously, it's gonna play in our favor, but you never like to see guys get injured in the first place. But, I think for me, KCP, Danny, even Kuz a little bit, just having this tough of a matchup in round one, having a guy of his caliber along with CJ and then the rest of their team, it kind of helps us, take a step forward earlier than maybe you would for a normal 8 seed. Portland, if they're healthy all year, I don't think they finish in the 8 seed. I think they're closer to the middle or the top of the pack. And so to be able to get this matchup in the first round, I think only benefits us because we have to get to a level that maybe we wouldn't get pushed to if we played another team. So, and that aspect, it's good for us, because like you said, you see flashes of a team that were playing in March last night and the games before that. And it's helping us get there. Sometimes that's harder to do, self-motivated. It's a little easier when you have a formidable opponent in front of you that requires your best to get the job done.
Alex Caruso on Lakers Talk here on 710 ESPN. Alex, what has this been like? It's now that you've got, obviously a number of games under your belt. Has everybody adjusted that, okay, there's no fans in the building. Yes, we're all just playing this Orlando bubble. Does it now become normal? Is that where you are, or does it, every time you step on the court, is it still kind of seem weird?
Yeah, I don't know if normal is the right word. It's still different. You can still feel that it's different, but I think once the playoff game started, at least for me, and I think for our team, you could tell that there's something to lose. There's a little bit of a sense of urgency that's there that you only get, I think, with the playoffs or maybe in regular season games with fans. But we've been able to get to the point now to where it's more intrinsic, and it's just about us going out there and making sure that we're playing at a high level. It hasn't been easy. I won't lie to you and tell you that it's easy to go out there and no fans, just get the juices flowing and be ready to go. But we, like you said, keep everything in perspective. We know what we're ultimately playing for, even if the venue and the atmosphere is a little different. There's still a trophy to be won. Do
you feel like, Alex, Michael Thompson, who does the play-by-play here on 710 ESPN with John Ireland, when we do the pregame show, we talk about how it's a neutral court. Is that how all these games feel? I mean, I'm sure you're not winning Game 4 and saying, "Oh, we stole home court advantage," but does every game feel the same? Where, obviously in the past when you're at a home arena or you're going on the road, do these just now are they just it feels neutral when you're actually playing these games as well?
Yeah, to be honest, it really does. The home team, the designated home team, has a couple more virtual fans, and they show their pregame hype video before the starting lineups. Right. But other than that, it's pretty much just the two teams, the referees, and then the scores table out there. And even then, the scores table's behind the plexiglass, so they're kind of off by themselves. It's really just the two teams and the refs. Honestly, it's basketball paradise in a sense where all you got to do is just go out there and focus on the game and play. It's been a lot of fun in that aspect, but yeah, it's pretty much just neutral. There's really there's no sway one way or another. We have really good bench energy and really good team camaraderie, so maybe that helps us a little bit take somewhat of a home court advantage. But at the end of the day, the guys on the court are still just playing the game 5-on-5.
Alex, when you have just time off, obviously today you guys already practice. What are you doing with your extra time? Do you find yourself watching a lot of these games? Do you find yourself getting away from the game? What is it that you try to do with your time outside of the actual games and practices?
I'm pretty much just laying low. I'll get some recovery in. We'll have a team meeting, maybe walk through some stuff, get some shots up depending on how you're feeling, and then just kind of hang out. I'm a basketball fanatic, so I'm the guy who in March Madness I'm watching every game from noon till 9 p.m. So
Sure.
I'm liking the 4 games a day, and now it's only 2, I guess, because some of the series have finished. But yeah, I've been enjoying watching the games. I haven't been too locked in because obviously I'm pretty focused on Portland as far as being real introspective or digging too far into coverages and other team stuff when I'm watching the games. It's more just for pleasure, just kind of enjoying the basketball. But I'm definitely just kicking it back, and I mean, not much to do in the bubble. I'm not can't go play golf between days on games. I'm resting because I got to guard guys like CJ and Dame. So it's a lot of just hoops and recovery for me.
Alex Caruso taking some time to join Lakers Talk here on 710 ESPN. Alex, 2 more questions for you, and we'll let you go. And again, I appreciate your time. Do you feel you have nothing to compare this to, but does the playoff games that you've been a part of so far in the first round, does it feel different? Does it feel that you're in the postseason? And, obviously, like I mentioned, I know that just based on the circumstances, it's not like you're going to Moda Center and there's 20,000 fans against you or here at Staples Center. But does it feel different competitively than anything you've ever felt before simply because it's now the postseason?
Yeah, it does. Like I said earlier, like there's no fans and there's no atmosphere, but you can still feel that there's something to be played for. There's something there to grab a hold of and to chase. With that being the trophy at the end, the title. It's different, and it's different like nothing I've ever experienced. But at the end of the day, there's adrenaline, and you can tell by some of the guys on our team the performances they put out already that it is the playoffs, and it really is here.
Final one for you, Alex. How do you feel? I mean, just based upon what you've seen so far from this team all season long, how do you feel as you're a game away from getting to the second round? Obviously, some great opponents still left. Championship aspirations, that's the expectation. How do you feel about this team and its goals ahead of them?
I feel solid, man. I felt confident as I do now, as I have all year, in the ability of this team. When we play at our best, I think we can beat anybody. And that being said, there's some really good teams out there, like you said. There's some really good teams in our conference and good teams in the Eastern Conference. But at the end of the day, we got to just play whoever's in front of us. And I'm confident in the 7-game series and our team and our abilities and our coaching staff to make adjustments to get the job done. So I'm excited. I'm confident. Looking forward to closing out Game 5 and getting my first playoff series win. Putting that on the resume and continuing on this journey.
Well, look, Alex, I know you already know this, but we wish you personally a ton of success, and of course for the Los Angeles Lakers a ton of success as well as you guys continue through this playoff run. So thank you for the time. Good luck for tomorrow. Hopefully you get the rest that you need and get ready for another good one against the Blazers.
Yeah, appreciate the support. We can feel Laker Nation even though we're a couple of states away.
Okay, that is Alex Caruso right there. All right, we are back. That's Alex Caruso right there. So I'm reading some of the comments. I don't know what's going on. I think you guys said we were out and we came back. Hopefully you guys got a good portion of that Alex Caruso interview. So thank you to Alex Caruso for doing that, and obviously a shout out to the Lakers public relations for helping set that up. Okay. Only a couple more things left to go, and then we're going to call it a night, and we'll be back here tomorrow for Los Angeles Lakers basketball. By the way, pregame show tomorrow starts at 4 o'clock. Tip-off at 6 o'clock. I'll do pregame with Michael for 2 hours, then Michael Thompson, John Ireland. Of course, Mason and Ireland will be on before that. Before that, Max Kelvin, Greenberg, and then Keyshawn starting at 5 a.m. tomorrow with Jay Will and Zubin. So keep all that in mind. Okay, so this is how I want to kind of start wrapping up the show a little bit. First of all, Alex Caruso, the man, and hopefully all these Lakers role players keep coming through. That is the hope. But I love his honesty from Alex Caruso on all that stuff. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, somebody's asking where they watch the pregame show. Got to listen to the pregame show. Listen, 710 ESPN. We do not stream the pregame show. We stream the postgame show. Okay. Somebody wants a pregame show before the pregame show. No. We do a postgame show after the postgame show. This is how I kind of want to start wrapping up tonight's show. Yesterday was Kobe Bryant Day. Amazing day. Amazing 2 days. And incredibly tough. Like one of the things that I will say is one of the things I'll say about August 23rd, which would have been Kobe Bryant's August 23rd would have been Kobe Bryant's 42nd birthday. And August 24th, which was Kobe Bryant Day, one of the things that I'll say about that is it gives a ton of people an opportunity to go back and reflect, remember, and appreciate all the amazing moments, to appreciate Kobe Bryant as not just the basketball player for 20 years, but a father, obviously a husband, and was so much more than just a basketball player. But it's still so freaking tough for, I'm sure, not just Laker fans, but people in general, because of what a tragedy that was and all the lives that were lost, and his wonderful daughter, Gigi Bryant, as well, and the 7 others that were a part of that tragedy. But one of the things I think I walked away in these last couple of days, it was also amazing to hear people reflect and to tell stories. Yesterday, John Ireland and Michael Thompson were telling personal stories about Kobe Bryant. I had Brad Turner on from the LA Times a little bit earlier today, and he was telling some personal stories. And I put out this question yesterday on Twitter, and I was asking, you guys can feel free to comment on this as well, and I was asking Michael this yesterday and John, what part of Kobe's game did you appreciate the most? What part of his game on the court do you appreciate the most? And, I was talking about this yesterday. I was saying that, and I think there was a theme here when I was reading a lot of these tweets. The theme was just his work ethic. That's what I think people loved most about Kobe. And I was trying to make this comparison. Kobe cared more about winning than the fan base, and that's special. You don't see that very often. And I started thinking about, one of my favorite Kobe Bryant moments, and I think it's a moment that defined Kobe Bryant, when he tore his Achilles. Guy tore his Achilles and then decided to walk over to the sideline, figure out that, okay, I can't play, then walk up to the free throw line, hit 2 free throws, and then walk off into the tunnelway. And, obviously had to go through that stretch there where he had to rehab and recover. That's one of the moments that stands out to me most with Kobe Bryant. I know that sounds crazy, but I say that because that defined who Kobe Bryant was. Didn't want to take a day off, only cared about winning, would outwork you, would be the first one at practice, the last one to leave. Everything you could possibly think of, that was Kobe Bryant. So I'll end the show tonight. Yesterday was Kobe Bryant Day. 2 days ago was Kobe Bryant's birthday. I know there was an incredible amount of tension over the last 2 days I went to Kobe Bryant. I want to at least just kind of give my quick thoughts on it. And that's how we'll kind of wrap up the show. So that is certainly what I appreciated most on Kobe Bryant. Tomorrow, we will get things started again. Los Angeles Lakers will take care of business. We'll move on to the second round. Watch some of these games that are going on tomorrow. You got Houston, you got Oklahoma City. Keep an eye on that one. Series tied to a piece. Lakers play the winner of that game in the second round, or the winner of that series in the second round. As always, thank you for tuning in. Wherever you're tuning in from, however you're tuning in on any of these social media platforms, we appreciate it. We really do. I know personally for me, I love doing this. I love talking Lakers basketball, and I love this interaction with you guys. So hope you guys have a good night. We'll get back at it tomorrow, and thank you for being a part of Lakers Talk.